So then Nick on Facebook asked, how can I get text color to match the color of a logo that's on the screen? So this is a really great question, and this is something I do fairly frequently. And let me bring up my logo here. So this, you might be working with a company or a, really anything, a product. It can be all kinds of different things. And so you have a logo, and I'm just going to use the Final Cut Pro Help logo here as an example. But let's say that we were working with this logo. It might be in the corner here. But now we've gone and added some text onto the screen. And yeah, let's use the dramatic text here, title. And our text here could say whatever it wants. The point is not the actual text, but we want this text color to match one of these colors that's in the logo itself. So when you're looking in the inspector here, you do have under the text inspector here, we have the font color. And when you click on a color, it brings up the color window. And you don't have to use the color window. You could hit this little drop-down menu and then select the color in the window here. A lot of people do it that way. But if you click on the little well here to bring up the actual colors, there's an eyedropper here in the corner and on the bottom section of this. And if you click that eyedropper, you can then select any color that's on your screen. And this is not just in Final Cut. You could have a logo that's in a PDF file that you're viewing in preview or somewhere else. You can use this as a way to select those colors. So I could go on here and I could click on the yellow of the car that's back there. But if I know I want a specific color in this logo, maybe I want the green that's up in the top left corner, I'm going to go up into the corner here and then click on it. And now notice it's matched the text to that green from the logo. And I can see it's set that color here. A lot of times, though, you'll set the color to match, and maybe it doesn't look exactly the way you want it. You want it to be a little lighter. You can definitely brighten that up using the slider at the bottom here, or you could switch to a different view here to make the brightness, change it. This is doing it grayscale, but we could change to RGB and adjust those as well. Something else that I very frequently do, though, if I select a color in a logo, usually it's a color that I'm going to want to reuse. So let's say I do go in and make it a little bit brighter. I set it to exactly the color I want. In this color window, use the well that's in the lower left corner where you see the color. Just drag this into any of these squares that are on the right side here. And that'll actually save that color. So now if you accidentally select a different color, you can just click the green at the bottom there and it jumps to it. Those are your system colors. You have them. You can use them. They stay on your computer and you're there and good to go. So that's one way to select a color, match something that's on there, and I use that pretty frequently. There's another app built into your computer, and if you do Command Space to bring up Spotlight and just start typing in digital, there's the Digital Color Meter app. And this is it here. It's just this little window here that floats up here. And this app actually is kind of what it sounds like. It's going to meter or measure the color of whatever's underneath your cursor. So again, if I go over the text color or the logo, I can see the color and what it thinks the range of that color is based on those values of, in this case, RGB. I could change this and choose a different way of viewing or selecting those colors. And I do this frequently too. Say I have this car here. When I hover over it, it's giving me the red, green, and blue values that are underneath the cursor there. But I can actually change this aperture size, maybe make it a little bit bigger. And now it's measuring more of those yellow colors in a larger box. So it's giving you more of an average of what's on this car. Because maybe 1 pixel is not enough for you to get the exact match of that car because the way the camera recorded it, it blurred things. But if you go and get an average, you might get a very close or much closer color reading out of there. So he's asking how to get the colors to match. You can either use this digital color meter to actually measure the values and record those values in, especially if you're working with designers and other people using Photoshop or other apps. You can then share those values with them, and you'll all be on the same page as far as what numbers you're going after and the actual color that you want to use. So that's one way to do it, or just use the eyedropper when you get the color window up, and you can select the color there. So Nick from Facebook, hopefully that helps out there. So the next question we have from Andrea, also from Facebook. He posted to the Final Cut Pro 10 user group, which if you're not on these user groups, they are a great resource. And people are asking questions on those sites